Hey guys, it's Jacqueline Cosplay. I told some of you that I was going to put up a tutorial on my Janna from League of Legends cosplay, so here it is. I did do it in a time-lapse format just because it was easier and I lost some of the footage for some of the steps that I did, but everything that is skipped over I'll explain in the video, and any questions you have or any requests for future cosplays, you can write those down in the comments below. Other than that, please enjoy the video. Okay, so for the bottom part, which isn't shown because I lost the footage for it, I just used a bikini bottom and traced that onto some fabric and added seam allowance, did it twice so that I would have 2 layers, and then sewed it together to make the bottom panty part or whatever. And then here I'm making the bra part, the little cups, where on the bottom left of the screen you can see that I have some pre-purchased bra cups because I wasn't sure how to make those myself. And then I put some plastic wrap, like 4 layers of plastic wrap over it, and used a heat gun to like help it hold its shape better, and then traced on the pattern I wanted, which was just like a line down across the middle, and then cut those out, used it to make a pattern piece. And then you see there the 2 different pattern pieces for each side, so there's 4 pieces total. And then I had 2 layers of white fabric just because it was kind of sheer and I didn't want that. And then I used some batting minus the seam allowance so that it could be like a little bit more cushiony when I put it on there and not show the seam allowance on the line as much, which actually worked out pretty well because it added a little ridge for the middle part that I wanted. And here I'm sewing them together so that they're one bra cup piece, and then I'm adding the batting, but I used the seam allowance to fold over the batting, and then I pinned it in place and then sewed it down like that. You can use this for basically any bra type of thing you're trying to construct. Using an old bra and like doing the same plastic wrap over it method would give you the same result, so even if you didn't want cushion, you can do the same thing. Okay, and then here I'm just doing the same exact thing to the other side so that I'll have 2 bra cups. Okay, and then for the bra cups going over the actual foam part or whatever, it told me not to sew through the bra cup just because it had gel inside apparently. So I had to hand sew this part, and then you can see me trying to lick it to get it straight because I'm disgusting. And then it took kind of a long time to hand sew this down because the edge of the bra cups had like this thicker fabric foam kind of thing, so if you have a thimble I would recommend using that. I was just too lazy to grab mine. And then I didn't pin through the bra cup, just so you know. I just pinned through that other side of the batting that wasn't connected, which helped keep it in place while I sewed it. And then here I'm wrapping some plastic wrap again around my body using my boyfriend as an assistant. And then this is just so I can get the part underneath the bra cups to get a pattern for it, which you see me drawing here. And then I used the bra cup to get the guideline down, and then I traced out the design I wanted, and then had him draw around the back where it's supposed to end. And then I carefully cut it off my body because I still like that shirt, and then I only did half of the pattern just because if I flip it over it can be the other side. And then I traced it onto some white craft foam. It could be any color because I painted it anyway, but I just got white because it was going to be white in the end. And then I traced it over, flipped it, and then traced over the other side right there. And then I traced it a little bit too big, so I ended up having to trim the sides a little bit, like maybe a ½ centimeter off each side. And then I used hot glue just to get everything in place like that, and then I used a small rectangle strip to get the edges in the back together so it would be like a nice flat line. And then here I used layers of fabric and Mod Podge to get it to stay in place. I could have done a little bit better on those like creases and everything, but it was fine. And then I painted it after that using silver and white paint, and I used hot glue to put the bra cups on, but I wouldn't recommend that because I had to fix that later at the con. And then in the middle it's just some rivets I put in, which were really easy, and some lacing up. And then here I have some 2-part epoxy resin, the clear kind, and I'm mixing it and mixing it and mixing it, equal parts of each, into those half sphere molds you see there, and then doing that like 4 times, and then one of them I put a little box underneath to get it into like a diamond kind of shape, and that's how I got the one on the middle of my chest. I didn't show the making the hip armor just because it was the same as making the chest piece, where you take craft foam, layer it with the fabric, and paint it. And then here's the finished product. Basically I just added some strips of fabric for the little tails trailing off, which was really easy. I didn't even hem it. It looked fine. And I actually ended up trimming that after at the con because it kept trailing on the ground and getting dirty. And then the headpiece is the same method as making the chest piece, where I used foam, layered it, cut it at an angle, and then it was done. But yeah, that's basically all it was. It wasn't too hard. I only spent a month doing this, so hopefully you liked it. I don't know, this is my first time doing a voiceover, but yeah, I'll have some more videos up later, but yeah, thanks. Okay, bye.